Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for your participation in this lecture. And today we will discuss about truth theory based on scientific philosophy. What are the truth theory are? This is the explanation. And why we study this truth theory is because we have a standard that based on scientific standard, something that we can be defined as the truth is because we have already uh, explained the problems and then the methods, the data analysis, and the conclusion. That's the standard of the truth based on a scientific philosophy. And at least there are three concepts of how to understand the truth. The first is knowing how, knowing who, where, and which. And human have this concepts is because, as I mentioned in the early lecture, that human, if you want to philosophizing yourself, is because you have to couraging to questioning or always questioning something so that you can deeply criticize, questioning, and knowing something. This is the key concept of philosophy. And the truth basically uh, have some characteristic. Sometimes the truth is universal because of the subject we learn, such as the truth based on science or language, science of language, and then social science. Like IPA or IPA is science, truth based on science. IPB, truth because of the standard on languages. And EPS or IPS is because the truth is because the standard of social science. And the truth is absolute and relative is depending on how the epistemological process in the philosophy of science. So if you can responsible, you can guarantee, you can be verified, this is the standard of the truth based on scientific philosophy. So the ultimate goals of the scientific philosophy is how to reach the truth. Jadi tujuan teori atau tujuan dari filsafat ilmu itu tidak lain adalah untuk mencari kebenaran berdasarkan kebenaran ilmiah. There are six truth theory in scientific philosophy. The first is correspondence truth, coherence truth, pragmatic truth, performative truth, and semantic truth. And finally, consensus truth. The truth based on correspondence, if something we can say this is the truth, is because this is a correspondence or in line between subject and the object. And this is the fact that this is the common knowledge that this subject and object is in line. For example, the capital city of Indonesia is Jakarta. This is the truth. But if you say that the capital city of Indonesia is Surabaya, this is false. This is not true. This is the common knowledge. And the second, the man is can be pregnant and also can be birth. This is the false, because normally those who can pregnant and birth is women. This is something like logical thinking. That's common knowledge is already established in our society, that uh, something accepted as the truth is because it is a common knowledge, like the capital city, normal life, the man and the women, and something that follow the function of the men and the women. And the next is truth coherence, is because there is a logical coherence between subject and object. For example, all the triangle have 180 degrees. This is the first assumption. And the second, all the rulers are triangle. So if you have the triangle, this is to be sure that you have always 180 degrees. This is the like the dalil, yeah. This is the final conclusion. And the next example, all the human need water, and Rudy is a human, so Rudy need water. This is the coherence truth. That's the logically accepted, because there is a connection, logical connection between subject and the object. The next is pragmatic theory. Is because something that this need to be examined, need to be understood, need to be researched, is because this is a pragmatic function. I think you don't need to study something new if you don't have any pragmatic goals. Why you study space or luar angkasa if you don't have any final goals how to reach the space? And this is the logical thinking that, and usually this is used by some research funding. If you want to research about US government, oh, of course you have to examine how US government maybe more good, more manageable, because your research already funded by US government. And the next is like, if there is a occurred like a fire, this is important to how to tackle the fire, rather than how uh, I mean in the near in the close period, that the most important thing is how to tackle the fire, not to find the cause of the fire. So if you want to study something that there is specific or pragmatic goals, this is pragmatic truth. So something should be have pragmatic uh, ending or pragmatic goals. This is pragmatic truth. The next is performative. The truth is always belong to the authority, like history wrote by the winner. So something some sorry sometimes we forced to accept the truth because the government, the authority have power to force the society to accept the information, the history, the policy came from the government. That is the performative truth. So those who have authority, some the society always accept the truth because the truth came from the authority. For example, here that we believe that during the riot in Ambon, especially Ambon village in Jakarta, the victims is maybe around 2 children died at the time. We believe this is the truth because the information came from the police. So those who have authority always have the truth. Okay, and the decision about the first Shawwal in Hijrah, those who have authority to issue this information, of course, Indonesian Council of Ulama. And during the new order of Suharto, for example, Indonesian Communist Party always became prohibited in Indonesia because government already declared that this is prohibited party in Indonesia, and people accept this is the truth. Okay, the next is semantic truth, and semantic truth closely related to uh, critical analysis on the languages or the text. Okay, let's say if you want to study how Pak Jokowi speech or how Donald Trump speech, you can analyze the speech. And then you can find in the conclusion that, oh, Pak Jokowi said like this because he blah 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 based on your interpretation. Like it, Donald Trump also, you can analyze his speech on maybe his final election. Then you can say, oh, maybe Donald Trump say like this because he said in his official speech. This is semantic truth. And the consensus truth is because after some research based on formulation of problems and then find data and then a reflection, analysis, and finally have a recommendation. And the recommendation, final recommendation especially, is arrived because after some serious research. For example, a doctor decided to give recommendation that to the patient that he or she has to be operated as soon as possible because the doctor already know that this is a critical situation, and we can maybe offer some recommendation to the government, to the authority, because we have already analyzed the problems, the data, and then the conclusion. So your recommendation is basically came from your analysis, and this is consensus truth. Okay, so since we study scientific philosophy, the aims, the major goals of our analysis is how to find the truth based on your scientific journey, begin from the problematization, methodology, data collection, analysis, and the conclusion and the recommendation. So you can reach the truth. All right, I think this is my presentation. If you have any question, please write in the comment, or you can text me directly. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.